here at Legends Boxing Gym in Norwalk, California, catching up with heavyweight contender. Here comes trouble, Dominic Breazeale. Dominic, you return to the ring on December 22nd at Barclays Center. You're taking on Carlos Negron. How's everything going?
Oh man, super excited, man. December 22nd, Brooklyn, New York at the Barclays Center. It's gonna be exciting, man. Camp's underway, body feels good. Just can't wait, I'm anticipating it.
You've been out of the ring for a year. I know you don't want to be off for so long. Why is it hard for heavyweight fighters like yourself to get a fight?
You know, in the heavyweight game, especially at the level that I'm at, there's a lot of politics behind things, negotiations, and who's going to fight who and what the better fight is. You know, I thought I was going to fight in February this year. Things didn't go the way I wanted it to. Then I thought again I was going to fight again in July, and some negotiations didn't fall through. You know, I'm lucky enough to be the WC mandatory, so everybody made it seem like I was waiting around for my shot at the title, and that's not the case. I've been in the gym, I've been working, I've been training. It's just, you know, things haven't worked the way they should.
You're keeping an eye on the big fight going on at Staples Center, Tyson Fury against Deontay Wilder. They fight 3 weeks before your fight. Your take on that fight?
My take on the fight, you got two big guys, man. Wilder at 6'6", Fury at 6'9". I think Fury gives Wilder a problem. He's a big, strong, athletic guy. Does he have the punching power to knock out Deontay Wilder? I don't know. Ortiz did expose him in that last fight as far as like his chin or whatnot. But I got Fury winning victoriously in the 12th round.
You do?
Yeah.
He has a boxing skill. He has a height. Physically, he probably won't impress anybody. But you do give Fury the edge over Deontay.
I do give him the edge. Being 6'9", 260 pounds, that's a hard man to deal with, man. I don't care if he's got the biggest power, the fastest speed. He's just very, very awkward, and you can't plan for it. There's no way you can design a camp for a guy that big. But at the same time, you know, this is boxing, this heavyweight game. One punch can change everything, you know?
You're still the mandatory for the WBC. Do you think you'll be given an opportunity to fight Deontay Wilder before the big fight that everyone's expecting against Anthony Joshua?
I'm anticipating that me and the winner of the WBC title, that fight is December 1st, and Fury and Wilder, you got to square off, and whoever does win it has prevail. I hope to see them in the spring of 2019, and I would love for that to happen before the Joshua fight happens. But in boxing, it's always good for boxing to have its biggest fights, on center stage. I think a fight with me or Fury is just as big as a fight with him and Joshua, and vice versa. A fight with me and Wilder is just as big. So. I think that's something for the future to tell.
Carlos Negron, I know you're looking forward to this fight, this date, December 22nd. Former Olympian, former 2008 Puerto Rican Olympian, 20-1 with 16 KOs. Your guys' records are pretty similar to each other. Do you know anything else about Carlos Negron?
Yeah, my opponent, Carlos Negron, like you said, 2008 Puerto Rican Olympian. His record is 20-0. The proof is in the pudding. He's on paper he looks phenomenal. He stands 6'6", 230. He's fought some veteran type guys. I think this will probably be his biggest test. At the same time, we've both been off for some time. I think he's been off at the time of the date. He'll have been off for 18 months. I've been off for 13 months. So it's matched very, very well. I'm looking forward to it because every time I get in there and fight a guy who's got that type of a resume, being an Olympian, being 6'6", being 230, being a guy who's only got one loss, it usually brings my game to the next level.
How do you prepare yourself against a fighter that has been inactive longer than you have? Most of his fights is fought on the East Coast, Puerto Rico, New York, to say the least. Do you watch any tapes from your opponents, Don?
Yeah, I've definitely watched some film. I'm going to study my guy. But at the same time, I'm going to prepare myself and myself only. I can only do what I can do in the ring. I'm going to show up fight night being the best Dominic Breazeale there's out there possibly. I'm going to train like I'm fighting for the world title because, in a sense, that's what's in line for me. So why not start training for it now?
I've told you this before. I mentioned this to you before, Dominic. Why do you think you're so likable, a heavyweight fighter like yourself in the heavyweight division? Because you're very easy to approach by the media. And you built so many fans in the UK.
I think it's one of those things. It's just charismatic, very approachable guy. I'm going to carry conversation with every walk of life, whether you're a doctor, lawyer, attorney, or the biggest superstar in boxing. I'm just one of those guys that it's easy to carry conversation with, charismatic, and anytime you take your time out of your busy day to sit and carry a conversation with the average man or the superstar of the world, people treat you differently.
We have your coach, Manny Robles. Of course, he's kidding. But let me ask you this, so coach will be able to hear. The biggest fight you've had in your career with Manny Robles, which one has been?
It's definitely got to be the Joshua fight. It's one that I know for sure I want to get back to. I'm sure Coach wants to get back to as well. When I first turned pro in 2012, my idea of fighting for the heavyweight championship was at the Rose Bowl, man. Being a local guy, putting 100,000 people in the Rose Bowl, that'd be a sight to see, right?
That could happen.
It's definitely going to happen. And I'm going to be the guy to do it. So my plan is to go get this WBC title, which I am the mandatory for. And then once I've got that, I've got a little thing to dangle around for Joshua to come get. And I've come to his country and fought him. He's got to come to mine and fight me. That'd be one sight to see. Two big American, one big American gladiator, one big UK gladiator, and one of the biggest arenas that the U.S. has to provide. That'd be sweet.
There you have it, ladies and gentlemen. And of course, Coach Manny Robles is sitting right next to you, listening to everything you're saying. I'm sure he agrees with you 100%. Ladies and gentlemen, the return of Dominic, Here Comes Trouble Breazeale, December 22nd, Bike Center against Carlos Negron. Thank you very much.
Appreciate it.